Hello my Farmall friends. So I decided today, wasn't really going to start with this right now, but I can't leave a new toy sit without touching it and going over at least a few things. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the hood off, and I'm going to go ahead and check the plugs. I'm going to look down the cylinders if possible, check the oil, and yeah, just go over a few things, see if the motor spins over. Not sure. I'm still learning on the utility here, but I know this thing has a parking brake, and this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me, this lever here looks like it goes back to the PTO. Comes down through here, goes to this arm here, and then controls right here. So I'm not sure exactly where, I guess you would say, the parking brake is on this one. I can get it to move. Obviously, as you saw in the video, I was able to load it up on the trailer. Then I was able to use the other truck to pull it off the trailer. But as far as like free rolling, it doesn't roll really easy. Almost acting like a brake is on. Obviously, I know this is for the torque amplifier right here. Obviously, just like all torque amplifiers, it seems like. This one he has it in high gear because it doesn't work in low gear very well. Which I have a feeling I may be able to possibly adjust the clutch on it to make it work. I won't know until I crack this cover off and actually see what's down the side there. Obviously, in order to get to that clutch, this whole assembly has to come off. So, yeah, I'll mess with that later once it gets inside the shop. But right now, I know I need to figure out why the shifter, it's pretty snug. Luckily, it's in neutral. It's just snug, so I'm going to have to take this apart and see if anything is rusted before it gets jammed. Check all the forks with the fork inside there and see. What else? But yeah, I'm going to see if it's a parking brake. I believe. Now, not mistaken, I think some of these came with disc brakes, but I don't know if this one does. I do know, obviously, it has the cylinders and all right here. So one of these might be froze up. It might be pushing against her just enough to keep a little bit of tension on there. When we pulled the tractor, obviously the fan and all didn't spin, so it's not locked in gear. It just feels like the brakes are stuck. At least stuck enough to keep it from rolling freely, but not enough to keep it from moving. So obviously I'm gonna have to go through it. He did tell me yesterday when I asked him, he said it was sitting for about 10 years actually out in the open field. I do have a question for you guys out there. Anybody who watches the video and has any insight, I'm trying to figure out, I can't find nothing definitive on Google. I haven't messed with 300 utilities, so I'm not sure. I noticed some of them have the exhaust going down the bottom. Some of them have the hood cut, the exhaust coming out. I'm curious if that was a factory option coming out of the hood, or did everybody cut the hole and bring it out of the hood? Yeah, I'm like 50-50. I'm not a big fan of it going under the tractor. I'd rather have the stack coming up. So I've been looking and trying to find, I found some hoods and stuff for sale on eBay, things like that, but they're all solid. Not a single one has the hole in there for the exhaust. So maybe if anybody has any knowledge on that, I'd appreciate the input. I did realize, and I can't believe I wasn't even paying attention, he did tell me that this rim over here he replaced. Honestly, I thought he was talking about the rim. I didn't look close enough at it, pulling it out of the weeds, but it's not the original rim, obviously, because I can't break the rim loose from the center. So I'm going to be looking for, actually I think he might have the original center. I'm going to be getting that from him, and I did find a pair of the original outer rims. The thing that sucks is this tire over here is a 24, no problem, but the original tires on the tractor were 28s. This one's the 28. Yeah, I'll show you this in a minute. This one's a 28. I know I saw the number somewhere right there, which is fine, but it's two different size tires obviously on the tractor, so it looks like we're going to be putting some tires on it. Look how lovely that rim is. I mean, luckily my ratchet strap was holding enough to keep it on that rim, but this rim is toasted, so not a big deal. I'm not sweating the rim. It's easy enough. Jack this thing up, pop it off, and put the tire on another one. Well, put the two new tires on. At least the front rims are original, so we're good there. This tire isn't awful, but it's dry rot. It needs to go. Original rim on the other side, and that one's bald as can be, so that one's going to go. Now I'm kind of contemplating, I've seen some people paint this part of the rim in silver, and then they do this in red. Some I've seen both red, others I've seen all white, just like this. Now this one here, now again, a lot of people said in 55, these were actually supposed to be red on red, red grill, red rim. Well, this one has white rim, white grill, and white insert. Now I did find out that even though the 55s did come all red, some dealers opted, just like on my Super A, I guess, they opted when the 350s and 450s came out, since technically the 350s and 450s had the white, some dealers opted to go ahead and do those in white to make them look like the 350s and, well, the 50 series tractors. So obviously, with that being done, and again, this was done at some point in its life, I'm going to go back just like it is in white on white, but I just don't know about the rims. I'm thinking I kind of like the red center and silver out. I'm not really a big fan of the white on white, so I may do that just for my own preference. But anyway, so long story short, I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, and I guess this will be kind of the first installment of the Will It Run, just kind of going through things, seeing if the motor spins, checking some stuff out, and that's it. I am not attempting to get it running today. I'm just going to go through it. So I'm going to set you guys up on the camera, and we'll start pulling these hoods off. And I got to fire my stogie back up. Alright, so hopefully it stays recording this time. I actually did a video. You know what? I'm going to try something. A new microphone. Hang tight. I'm going to see if this works better for my video. Alright, my friends. It looks like this might be working. So let's go ahead and get you back in here. This way, when I'm walking around the tractor, you can actually hear what I'm saying. Kind of a new toy. It's kind of cool for, I don't know, I think it was 30 bucks. Can't really beat that. I apologize if I make any odd noises in this. Alright, let's give that a try. Alright, let's get back to it. First things first. Alright, so let's see what we got in here. Hopefully I can get these screws out. I think I might be getting a little impact screwdriver out here. Yes, I am. Yep. She is froze. All right, let me go get my impact screwdriver. All right, so it seems like everything is working here. I just sprayed the dog snot out of pretty much everything on this thing. Brakes, brackets, bolts, wheel locks, seat, shifter. I don't think it's going to work, but I sprayed anyway. All the screws. So hopefully that'll actually work for possibly, hopefully breaking a few things free. Be nice if I could just dump Euro on everything and free it right up and starts right up on a whim. You know, never know. Might need a drink, but ain't gonna get that lucky. All right, see what we got here. See if there's a possibility. Well, you know what? Actually, while I'm letting that soak in, let's take a quick look in here. He said it had antifreeze in it. Yeah, it looks like antifreeze is in there. A little low, but it's in there. Just gotta pop that bag on. All right, see if I can get this to work. Obviously, I want to do it so hard because I really don't want to dent any more than it needs to be. Start tapping a few of them first before I really start wrenching on them. I don't know. It ain't looking good, is it? Yeah, she been on there for a while, that's for sure. Yeah, I might be letting this actually soak overnight. Let me see if I can. I'll pop the hood off the other side. Move on over here. This one comes off. Yeah, put you that way. Let's get this side off of here. See if I can spray them from the inside. Yeah, should be able to get to them. Yeah, the original paint actually looks nice inside there. Oh yeah, definitely gonna be cleaning that out. That's got all kinds of shit inside there. All right, grab my penetrating fluid here. Kind of sucks. The side I can get off isn't the side I want off. Now's that screw up there. There's one. Can barely see. That one's not in. That one I can see. Now the other one. Woo, it's gonna be fun. If I can get it from under here. All right, I'm gonna go around the other side, see if I can see that screw. Looks like I got it. All right, well, I guess those three are gonna have to soak for a few. Let's see. I almost don't even want to know what it looks like inside the fuel tank. Let's just say that ain't looking good so far. I need to grab a flashlight. All right, I'm not gonna be able to hold my camera at the same time I'm checking this fuel tank, but try to get a better view here. All right, see how this looks. All right, well, it's not as bad as I thought. I can probably go ahead and run a brush through here when I take the tank off. Guess I'll find out what it looks like down. At least it has fuel in there, so with any luck, maybe it didn't rust in, excuse me, inside. I guess we're gonna find out once I get it off of there. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure too this might be the power steering model. I'm trying to find what the box is supposed to look like for a power steering for this. It kind of looks like, the way this is set up, it may be a power steering unit. I can't see on the steering wheel on this cover. I'll show you. Obviously, I can't read anything on there. I just tell if it is or not. I guess I'll do more research to find out. It does have the 6-volt system in it still, which I don't have a problem with. I know this wiring is going to have to be going through for sure. So this one here, I don't have the original crank to start it or to crank it around, but I'm wondering if I can get something, get a wrench on there. Again, that'll be easier from the other side. See if I can spin this motor around. Well, I guess first things first, I'll move you in here. Yeah, I gotta admit, filming these sometimes it's extremely difficult. I don't think I can do it to move by hand. Yeah. The upper spins, not the lower spins. So I'm probably going to put my money on there's a possibility this engine seized. He did tell me the issue that this thing had, which is why he parked it. He parked it running, but the problem he had was he put a dent in the pan. Let me break this out of here. Right there. And he didn't realize it was leaking oil until it started sounding a little funny. And then once he realized it, he filled it full of Lucas. He ran it a few more times, pushed some snow with it, parked it, and apparently hasn't started it since. So I'm wondering if it's already did this damage. I was kind of already banking on that. I'm pretty much already got my mind to, I'm going to go ahead and do a rebuild on it. Bearings, piston sleeves, you know, the whole 9 yards. And just go ahead and freshen this thing up, because I am going to actually use this for yard work, even though it's going to be a very pretty tractor. We're going to use it for work. So I want the motor to be good, strong, healthy, and actually last. So I'm going to go ahead and hit pause this video, check these screws, see if I can get the side of this cover off, because if I can't right now, I'm kind of stuck. All right, so far the penetrating fluid is doing its job, and it looks like I got them all out. Let's just say that wasn't very fun, but it wasn't as bad as I thought when it came out. So this here is pretty much what I dealt with the whole tractor getting it out. This thing was in a bunch of chicker bushes, sticker bushes, vines, you name it, it was in there. All right, so that's good. I'm gonna put the screws over here. Thinking the first thing I should probably actually do, might pull this valve cover off. I want to see what's going on underneath that thing. All right. Let me get some of the critter nest off of here. Ooh, that's a little ant nest there. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Y'all are evicted. Yeah, get out of there. All right. I'm going to cover up this air intake real quick, and I'm going to go get my blower out and blow this off, because these little ants have definitely made a nice little home here. Alright, very good. So before you pull valve covers and stuff, make sure you take a blower. Get some of that stuff off, keep that stuff out of your engine. The last thing you want to do is dump more in there than you have to. Alright, let me get these off of there. I'm just going to keep that on top of that air cleaner for now. I'm not liking the fact that this is loose. It takes that warm and fuzzy feeling away real quick when the valve covers is loose. Now, Super A was rusted solid, stuck, valves stuck, rusted, you name it. That A was that engine was toast in there, so can't really say I'm shocked. All right, that off of there. Okay, well, let's just say it's not as bad as I thought, but let's just say it's not good either. Yeah, I mean, it's not awful, but the critters have been in there, that's for sure. I'm going to run these bolts down a little bit. And I think I'm going to fire this thing back up, and I'm going to blow that out one more time, move my beer, because I don't want that all inside there. Alright, fire it back up. See if I can get that stuff out of there. I don't want to brush it off in there. Alright, obviously as you saw, the valve cover gasket is pretty much done. I'll show you what I'm seeing. So, it's not rusted solid, luckily. But let's just say all the ants and shit have all gotten in there and made a little nest. Let's see, I got my flashlight in my pocket here. Yeah, it's got some stuff down there. It's not as bad as I thought. I may be able to get most of that out. Yeah, I'll just run some diesel down through here. Just let it drain out the bottom. I might even crack the pan off of this thing. Okay. Well, the valve train isn't as bad as the A was, so at least that's a good thing. Curiosity. See if I can get this stand up a little higher here. I just want to give these valves a couple taps. I just want to see if they move. There you go. It's sticking. Not sticking. Okay. Unstuck. Pardon me a second. Not stuck. Not stuck anymore. And not stuck anymore. I can feel the bounce. So you don't want to beat these checking it this way. You just want to give them a tap. See if they have a little spring to them. Now they all have spring. This is the only one that felt stuck, but felt like it worked free, so it's moving now. It's moving. Definitely moving. Alright, they're all actually moving. So as far as the valves, looks like they're okay. Definitely gonna have to try and get in there and clean that crap out of that. Alright, that's a start. This wire here. So anyway, we have another wire just broke off hanging free. I'm gonna have to trace that, find out where that goes. So for now, I'm leaving that hang. And you know what that is? That's the water. Come back over here where I'm working. So obviously, for the water temperature, it's completely rotted apart, hanging. And well, yeah, there's the other half of it right there. So obviously, for the water temperature, we know that is a done deal. That ain't working. All right, we're trying to pick some of this gasket up here. Here. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna roll this up. Just have this out of the way. All right. Well, let's move on up here. Let's start pulling some plugs out. Back out of the way. Oh shit, that plug's loose. Okay, well. Well, they're white. Don't really like the fact that I can unscrew them by hand if it was parked this way. Ooh, got rust on the plug. We usually know what that means. Looks like moisture is definitely gotten inside there. Should go grab my endoscope and put it in there. It's got some crud on there, but it doesn't look like it'll stop it from starting. I don't see no water in that one. That's a good start as far as that goes. Oh my god, they're all hand tight. Just had my own thought here. If he said that it wasn't running right when he parked it, could be a possibility that the plugs all being that loose could have been a hell of a reason why it wasn't running right. See if you can see inside there. Alright, well, she got some crud in there, but let's just say it doesn't look like it's rusted solid. Definitely has some rust around the hole from the plugs not being in all the way. I may be able to at least get it started. I can't say she's going to run like a top, but I may be able to fire it up once I get it freed up. We're going to be putting new plugs in there, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going to go get some Marvel, shoot these cylinders up with some Marvel, and obviously they're going to sit for a little bit. And then when we come back, after it sits for about a day, I'm going to crank that thing around. Alright, apparently the stand wants to keep falling over on me. Let's see if I can set this up the way where the stand won't fall. Alright, let's give that a whirl. Yes, if I can get in there and clean some of that out, but I really can't. Now, I like to hear it fire up at some point, but let's just say that most likely it's going to fire up enough to maybe hear it run. But this old girl's getting tore down. Well, that's all we're going to put in that for now. I'm going to go ahead and dump a little bit down inside that valve train. All right, that's going to be good for now. Come down here. Get to that last one. There we go. I can hear it pushing on through. Alright, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and run these plugs back in. Get whatever grit in there out that I can. I'd like to know why these plugs were only running hand tight. Compression. This thing had to run absolutely awful, that's why. I'm going to put them in hand tight because they're going to be coming back out. So obviously when we spin this motor over, it looks like it might rain today, so that's kind of why I want to do this. Even though it's been sitting for 10 years this way, I don't want to do any more damage than it needs to be. Alright, so that's that. Obviously I'm going to wipe the inside of this out just a hair. Some of this dirt and cobwebs out of it. Now I've heard a lot of these 300s run. They actually got a nice little sound to them. They actually sound pretty damn good. You know what? Now I got a little marble on there. Maybe some of this crap will stick to the rag as I wipe it out. Like that. That's better. Kind of glad I stopped by when I did, because he was actually getting to the point where he didn't want to mess with it anymore. So he was telling me that the next step was going to be let somebody haul it away for scrap price. As soon as I heard that, I knew I had to make a deal on it. I did not want to hear that another Farmall was going to a scrap or getting stripped for parts. It was sad enough. Went to Field of Screams this past weekend, and it looked like an old Farmall M was sitting up as a display up over top of the hayride, and they had pyrotechnics all in it. So the whole Farmall was burning around the tank, out of the engine. It was a sad sight to see. Poor old thing sitting up there like that. Okay. Yep. That's better than it was. You know, funny thing is, there's the washer. There goes the valve cover. Somebody, when they put this thing on there, they didn't bother pulling the washer back. Flat screw, this washer's gone. Grab a. It's got a flat on the other side. Yeah, it does. All right, good deal. Get that copper washer up. Yeah, eventually I'll get me one of those fancy little GoPros. So when I do this kind of work, what my eyes are seeing, you guys can see. Okay, so there's one of the copper washers. Unfortunately, the other one's gone. No biggie. I'll get one. All right, let's stick this back on there just to keep the crap out. I'll hit something I can't see from this side. Again, I'm not going to run this down because obviously when I try to get it started, I'm going to take this off anyway. So that's why I'm not putting these back down. All right. I did see also that the tack on here, I'm just going to stick these on too, get the firing order where they're supposed to be. Not that it's hard, it's only 1, 3, 4, 2. As long as he's got it in the right order. Now I see the tack. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, right there. That's just hanging. Looks like somebody put a block off plate where it's supposed to be. So I guess I'm going to have to find the parts for that. I think I can get this out of the way for now. Move that over there. Alright, let's go ahead and oil off this oil cap now. Back out there. See if there's anything living in here. Get it without ripping that seal. So I can get this thing at least moving under its own power, in all hopes it's going to go into the shed for its tear down. That actually looks okay in there. The oil actually looks really good right there. A little bit of oil back on that seal. Just to keep it from pumping out oil if it does start. Okay. Alright, so it looks good enough to give it its first run. Alright, put that back on. Next we're going to pull the dipstick out and see what it looks like on there. Okay. Got good oil in there. Don't look bad. Let's go ahead and check it. Oh yeah, she's full. That's for sure. Besides what I dumped in there for that marble. The oil actually looks pretty nice there. The oil actually looks good, at least from there. I'm going to crack that drain open just a little bit, see if any water comes out. Alright, let me get resituated. Let me put this thing down under, and let's see if any water comes out of this thing. Alright, looks like it should be low enough for you guys to see. Alright, let's see what's in here. I'm going to be replacing this pan, that's for sure. Now I want to crack this just a little bit, just to see if the water comes out. So when you do this, try to hold the plug as still as you can without releasing it. She's got water. Shit. Oh, you can see the water right there. Let's see how much water. Splashing me in the damn face. Let's go this way. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of water. Not what you want to see. That's a whole shit ton of water. Good Lord. Yeah, what I say? Rebuild. Here it comes. Alright, well the water stopped. Now here comes the sludge. It's real easy. Ooh, look at that. Alright, well, water's out. And now we got oil. That is now you can't be shocked when you find these sitting like this to end up finding water in there like that. Because I guarantee you everything on this tractor, every single hydraulic, everything is filled with water. Honestly, I'm contemplating if I should just pull the whole pan off and see what's going on there. Alright, well, that's it for that. That was fun. Now, at least I didn't drink too much of that. Got a little bit in the face, but it wasn't awful. Alright. Well, now I'm going to see if I can get a wrench on there. Let's see if I can make that thing move at all. So I hit pause again and go get a big wrench. Alright, so I let everything work in a little bit. Pulled the plugs back out, checked the valves again, and a couple pulls with my miniature channel locks, and I was able to, believe it or not, unstick it. So, see if I can get this down in here, there, and then you'll see. Yeah, it's spinning. So, there's definitely hope for it. So everything is worked through, at least enough. It looks like it's starting to, piston on number 2 came up, pushed some of the Lucas out of there. I mean, the Marvel out of there. So it moves. So I'm going to see if I can get a few more turns out of it. I got one full revolution so far, and I'll put this up here and show the valve train is starting to move at least. So that's good. Let me see if I can get a good position here. There we go. Looks like so far it looks like they're all possibly moving. Yeah, the belt's slipping now. Starting to get some of that crap in there. I have a feeling the belt will probably end up breaking. All right, so it spins. So I guess the next step is I'm going to check the electrical, and maybe I'll see if I can bring the battery out of here, out of the H, hook it up, and see if we can get anything to spin. Like all the valves are actually starting to move. The only one I'm concerned about is this one that's moving. Yeah, they're moving. So I'm guessing I just didn't get around. Yeah, I didn't get around enough to it. I think the belt's starting to slip before it's getting to that point. I'd like to at least see it possibly go down. There we go. It's gone down. Okay. Well, they're all moving. Yep, every single one is moving. All right, so it is unstuck enough where it's a good possibility I may be able to get this thing fired up then. Not today again, but I got it unstuck today. All right, my friends. Well, that's going to be it for this one. This is going to be part one of many of the Will It Run. So at least I know the motor is now unstuck. Valve train moves. Everything's good. So next I'll end up pulling probably the part 2 video. We're going to put new plugs in it. We're going to go ahead and check all the wires because some of them look really bad. Pull it off, check the points inside there, see how they look, and go over the wiring because I just don't want this thing to pretty much fry every wire in here as soon as we connect the battery to it. I got to get the key moving too. But other than that, today, success. Got the thing freed up. That's more than I thought I was going to do. Actually, I was about to write it off. I didn't think it was going to unstick. So that's it for today. If you want to see more of the Will It Run, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe bell, and definitely hit the like if you enjoyed at least what I did to the tractor today. Other than that, that's it. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Always appreciate it. And I told you guys, the more we keep getting, the more tractors I'm going to keep probably accumulating. But this one here, I really actually want to, you know, the H is going to get done, but I really want to do the 300 utility. I don't see too many resto videos beginning to end on the utility, so I think I might want to go ahead and do this one. We've seen a lot of H's on there, so obviously the H is going to get done, but I think this might be the next one getting pulled in, and go from there. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. All right, so the video is not over yet. I'm going to do a PS. So I decided to go ahead and hook the battery up and wrap on the starter a few times because this was off. So obviously the starter got some water in it, rusted it up, gave it a few taps and a few wraps, and she cranks. That's a good start. So it looks like there's possibly hope for this old girl after all. So pistons are moving and every single valve is opening and closing. Get it back around for you. Now, today was a serious win. So over 10 years, this thing literally sitting uncovered in the weeds as you saw it. We got her to go ahead and break free and moving. We're over the hump. So I guess next thing is we're going to throw some plugs in here, and I promise you I'm not doing it today. I know I said that before, and I wasn't going to do this today, and I did do this today. I guess you could say I apologize, but I'm not sorry. So anyway, so that's just a little quick recap at the end of this video. So this now is the end of this video for the Will It Start? Well, it will crank. So the next video is going to have to be Will It Run? Because the next one, we're going to go through the electrical, get the plugs back in there, see if we can get this thing to fire up. I did actually get the brakes to break free. I did put the blaster all in here on both sides, the pedal, and I actually got it to the point where I can push the tractor a little bit back and forth now, so it is freed up. The only thing I still got to free up is the shifter, getting in and out of gear. She's still pretty stuck, so that's going to have to be the next thing before this thing will even think about moving. Because if I can actually pull it into the shed in its own power, I'd be happy. I don't think it's going to pull in this way, so I'm going to have to replace this rim before I attempt to get it in the shed, but it will go. So at least it's cranking, at least it's moving, at least it's not stuck anymore. That's all I can ask for. So again, as I said before, hit that notification bell so you can see the part 2 of this. Please subscribe. Definitely appreciate the likes, comments. You know how we roll here. So other than that, you guys have a great day, and until the next one.